You got a raise 6 months ago. A pretty good one, too. So why does your bank account look exactly the same as it did before? That question haunted me for years. I'd get a promotion, feel great for about 2 weeks, and then somehow end up right back where I started. Still stressed about money, still counting days until the next paycheck, still wondering where it all went. Turns out there's a name for this. It's called the rat race. And once I understood how it actually works, I was genuinely frustrated that nobody had explained it to me sooner. So, let's break this down. The rat race isn't about working hard. Plenty of people work hard and build incredible lives. The rat race is a specific trap where you're running faster and faster on a wheel, but you never actually get anywhere. You earn more, but you also spend more. You climb the ladder, but the finish line keeps moving. You're exhausted, but you can't stop because you've built a life that requires you to keep running. Here's how it usually starts. Let's say you're 25 years old, making $45,000 a year. You've got a decent apartment, a car that runs, and you're scraping by. Then you get promoted. Now you're making $60,000. That's $15,000 more per year, around $1,250 more per month before taxes. This is the moment where everything can go right or everything can go wrong. Most people, and I definitely did this, immediately upgrade their life. You move to a nicer apartment. That's an extra $400 a month. You finance a newer car because, hey, you deserve it. That's another $250. You start eating out more, buying better clothes, getting the premium streaming packages. Before you know it, that entire raise has been absorbed into your new lifestyle. Your income went up by 33%. But your savings? Still zero? Your stress level? Exactly the same. This is what financial folks call lifestyle inflation, and it's the engine that keeps the rat race running. Here's the tricky part. Lifestyle inflation doesn't feel like a mistake when it's happening. It feels like progress. It feels like you're finally living the life you earned. And honestly, some upgrades are totally reasonable. If you've been driving a car that breaks down every other month, getting something reliable makes sense. The trap isn't in any single purchase. The trap is in the pattern. It's when every raise gets fully absorbed by new expenses. It's when your spending always rises to meet your income, no matter how much you make. I've met people earning $200,000 a year who are still living paycheck to paycheck, not because they're irresponsible, but because they slowly built a life that costs exactly $200,000 a year to maintain. The private school tuition, the house in the nice neighborhood, the 2 car payments, the vacations they now have to take because that's what people in their circle do. They're objectively successful, but they're also objectively stuck. And here's what makes the rat race so dangerous. Once you're in it, getting out feels impossible. Think about it. If you've committed to a $3,000 a month mortgage, a $600 car payment, and private school at $1,500 a month, you can't just decide to stop working. You can't take a lower-paying job you'd actually enjoy. You can't take a risk on starting something new. You need that specific income to keep the machine running. Your high salary becomes a cage instead of a key. Now, let me be clear about something. There's nothing wrong with wanting nice things. There's nothing wrong with enjoying your money. The point isn't to live like a monk and never buy anything. The point is to make sure your spending is a choice, not a requirement. To make sure you're running towards something, not just running to stay in place. So how do you know if you're in the rat race? Here are some honest questions to ask yourself. If you lost your job tomorrow, how many months could you survive? If the answer is less than 3, that's a warning sign. It means you've built a life with no margin for error. When you get a raise, does your savings rate go up or does it stay the same? If every extra dollar gets spent, you're on the wheel. Do you feel like you can't afford to slow down? Like taking a pay cut, even for something you'd love, is completely off the table? That's the trap talking. Are you buying things to signal success to other people? This one's uncomfortable to admit. But a lot of rat race spending isn't really for us. It's to show others that we're doing well. The fancy car in the driveway, the designer bag, the kitchen renovation we post on social media. There's actually a term for this. It's called keeping up with the Joneses. And the cruel joke is that the Joneses are usually broke too. They're just better at looking rich. Okay, so let's talk about getting out. Step 1 is what I call the gap strategy. The gap is the space between what you earn and what you spend. If you earn $5,000 a month and spend $5,000 a month, your gap is zero. You're stuck on the wheel. But if you can earn $5,000 and spend $4,000, you've created a gap of $1,000. That gap is your freedom. It's the money that actually builds wealth instead of just maintaining a lifestyle. Here's the key insight that took me way too long to understand. Growing the gap matters more than growing your income. Someone earning $80,000 who saves $20,000 is in a way better position than someone earning $150,000 who saves nothing. The first person is moving forward. The second person is just running faster on the same wheel. Step 2 is to resist the upgrade urge after every raise. Try this instead. Next time you get a raise or a bonus, pretend it didn't happen. Keep living on your old income for at least 6 months. Take that entire increase and put it somewhere you won't touch it. A savings account, your retirement fund, whatever. If after 6 months you genuinely feel like you need to upgrade something in your life, fine. Do it intentionally. But you might find that you don't actually miss the money. You adapted upward when your income grew, but humans are also really good at adapting in the other direction when we need to. Step 3 is to build what I call enough clarity. The rat race never ends because there's always more. A bigger house, a fancier car, a more exclusive vacation. The goalpost moves forever, but at some point, you have to define what enough looks like for you, not based on what your coworkers have or what Instagram tells you to want. What actually makes your daily life feel good? For some people, that's a modest house and the freedom to work part-time. For others, it's a bigger lifestyle but with the security of 2 years of expenses saved. There's no right answer. But there has to be an answer, because without a finish line, you'll run forever. Step 4 is to question the hidden have-tos in your life. We tell ourselves a lot of stories about what we have to spend money on. We have to live in this neighborhood for the schools. We have to drive a reliable car, which somehow means a brand new one. We have to take this vacation because we promised the kids. Some of these are real, many of them are negotiable, and a few of them are just habits we've never questioned. I'm not saying you should feel guilty about your choices. I'm saying it's worth occasionally asking, do I actually want this? Or have I just convinced myself I need it? Step 5 is the hardest one. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Escaping the rat race means making choices that might look weird to other people, driving an older car when you can afford a new one, staying in a smaller house when your friends are upsizing, saying no to things you could technically say yes to. That discomfort is the price of freedom. And I know that sounds dramatic, but it's true. The rat race is comfortable in a way. It's what everyone else is doing. Breaking out means being a little different. So here's the bottom line. The rat race isn't about how hard you work or how much you earn. It's about the relationship between your income and your spending. It's about whether you're building a life or just maintaining one. You can make $300,000 a year and be completely trapped. Or you can make $60,000 and be genuinely free. The difference isn't the money, it's the gap. Take an honest look at your own situation. Not to judge yourself, but to understand where you actually stand. Then start making one small change, just one. Maybe it's saving half of your next raise instead of spending it. Maybe it's questioning one have to in your budget. Maybe it's defining what enough would actually look like for you. You don't have to escape the rat race overnight. But you do have to see the wheel you're running on before you can step off. If this helped you think about money a little differently, consider subscribing to Like Your 5. We break down financial concepts without the jargon, the judgment, or the complicated formulas. Just clear explanations that actually make sense. Thanks for watching.